Do you know how primitive people take pictures? Maths put cement all over the face. I pat it with a slate. If you want to take a family photo, use a bigger slate. They are primitive people who lived 100 years ago. Today they hunt. Day's dad set his sights on a bird, take and run. The way he decides who's in charge of attracting the useless, use grandma instead. It was also specially arranged to fly all the way to get the bird smoothly, but when she ran back happily, your mother dragged him and knocked him to the ground and then picked up the bird's egg. Zazai no matter also soon met the mother bird. With the cooperation of the family, because the family successfully completed the sequence, they enjoyed the fruits of victory one by one. The time of the day will soon pass, the sun will go down, hurry up and take the family to hide in. I got the power unit, but I walked alone into the dark cave that I would force him to make a ray circle. Watching the two chasing the afterglow of the sunset, I saw Zai's treasure starting to complain that my father calmed down. The fire in the middle of the night attracted my full attention. All the way to the top of the mountain, or the amount of debris attracted his attention. Girls Gullen likes such shiny things. The observation of the treasure spring water tank and the sudden appearance of a big pig mask after the 80s fell over his shoulder to save his life. The rescuer fell on the carpet and some stones wanted to solve the problem, but people didn't know. At this time, the rescuer took off his mask and looked at him sincerely. He was probably a traveler, not only well informed, but also a lot of survival skills. Because I had a premonition that an earthquake was about to happen here, I was going to take refuge on a higher mountain. Xiaobai wanted to go there together. I didn't expect that my parents were still at home. I also refused to invite Xiaoli, a conch. He will immediately on the second day. The family was preparing to go out, and there was a sudden tremor. Then the ground began to exercise, and he didn't start talking. He was not in a hurry. The world appeared in front of them. Did you enter such a rat? No matter how many magical animals are there. There are bats like gourds and whales walking on land. Dad's tiger roaring picture with his teeth and claws under the 8 monkeys. Pay attention to the coherent expression. And then he slaps his arms and goes up to slap the new toys that the monkeys are excited to play with. When the monkey was scared away by him, he didn't expect more trouble. He found the diseased face that was still tight without the tiger. At the back, it suddenly darkened and went to the mother's tiger. There are only countless ums and Liao Jiang flying to the sky. They dance in the air like a beautiful fiery cloud. It's not the next second. Compared to the 1 second, there are only a bunch of skeletons left. It's not a family and play is a threat in particular. I can't retreat slowly and can't make a defensive formation. I don't think that at this time, the security guard has a shoulder problem for a long time. The little brother in the distance heard the sound and he quickly ran away. When the neat temptation was lit, the grass was made to a simple partner. Holding up the cuddles and holding the torches and chili peppers high, the technique of not being scared out of the exam fee has lifted the crisis. But unfortunately Xiaogai, who was introduced by his family, has changed many previous habits because of the appearance of Xiaokei, such as grilling food with fire. It's more delicious. It's more convenient to walk down 10 by 3, so you won't get wet and die the mobs. These ideas seriously threaten the status of the relationship. The family relies on the small cover for every component. It will save the image of the family and develop some information. Such as stone the head of public transport, but Wang is careful of obstacles in front of him, such as those stones, which are used as sunglasses so that they will not be dazzling. These boring inventions are obviously very tasteless. The status of the head of the family is threatened, and his words are less and less taken seriously. Children, you are so embarrassed that such an adult fell into the teachings at the o'clock. It's also the reason for being a father. Shaving changed the view of the mobs, but the most important thing at the moment is how to get out. To get out of trouble and to make a fake tigress to attract the tiger's attention. There is no strong pull to save them. Excuse me, this time, I used my brain to get involved. When the family came over, the two of them had already cleared their previous suspicions. Both of them had broken bodies. The situation became extremely serious. They gave birth to hope that everyone will go back to the cave first. I didn't expect that this time my father rejected him. He knows that everyone likes light and freedom. Although he can't think of a good idea, he wants to protect his family in his own way. But he wanted to try once and learn to stand up. He was willing to watch Lu Guan for them and threw it into the fog. After a while, Xiaogai's horn continued to sound. Everyone's hope was rekindled, but this method would eventually leave Dad and them. Everything is separated from the boss. Dad said that it was always Dad's responsibility to protect the family. Valley China went back alone and incited him a successful life and wanted to share it with everyone. 11 turning around, only to find that he was the only one left. He grabbed a handful of dirt and drew his family on the wall. That's when the tiger reappeared. The mother who lived in the mother swallowed the fire, and then he didn't come to hurt the starling tiger. He was very afraid of the black kitten. He was like a kitten. At this time, he remembered the sound of the horn. He's in the storm. If he can cross the canyon, he finds an animal skeleton smeared with tar and attracts a swarm. And flamingo dad back without you. The bas-relief on the stock is firmly glued to the exchange and forced to be used as free labor, and the family who controlled the flight direction and the driving time were still blowing the horn to the father who caused the valley. Just as the family was in grief, 10 Australians appeared. A huge flying object photosynthetically flew over the canyon and made porridge as usual. The number of family members is only one more this time. He regards the little monster as a family hexagram and follows Bien's responsibility. It's very touching. Even if you don't trust your family, you can stand up in a critical moment. The wealthy family is the largest out of family affection in the country. The protection of taking the family to a bright future belongs to the previous issue. See you in the next time.